Hello students, today we will study the concept of genetic code from the chapter Molecular Basis of Inheritance. What is genetic code? For this, I give some brief introduction. We have already studied DNA, transcribes, messenger RNA, translates, protein. We have covered the topic of transcription and we will proceed to the topic of translation. But our today's topic, genetic code, pertains to this messenger RNA. I am showing the messenger RNA over here. This messenger RNA has a sequence of nucleotides. We can call them polynucleotides. And we will proceed to the formation of the protein during translation, which the protein means the chain of amino acids. Here is some sequence, here is some information which is going to be translated in the form of the protein, or in simple words, going to be translated in the shape of chain of amino acids, and sequence of nucleotides in the messenger RNA. So we are talking about this genetic information, and with this we will understand what is genetic code, what are the properties of genetic code. We are focusing on the sequence on the messenger RNA. So we start over here. During replication and transcription, a nucleic acid was copied to form another nucleic acid. Students, we have studied DNA was changed to messenger RNA during transcription. Hence, these processes are easy to conceptualize on the basis of complementarity. So, we know how to make messenger RNA from the DNA on the basis of complementary base pairing. We have covered this topic. The process of translation requires transfer of genetic information from a polymer of nucleotides to a polymer of amino acids. This we have just discussed. We are changing the information, transferring the information from nucleotides, polynucleotides to the chain of amino acids. Neither does any complementarity exist between the nucleotides and amino acids, nor could any be drawn theoretically. Means we have no clue what will be the final sequence of the amino acid. How is it related with sequence of the nucleotides? There existed ample evidences though to support the notion that change in nucleic acid were responsible for change in amino acid in proteins. It means if we make a change over here, the result will be here. This led to the proposition of genetic code. So we want to focus on the genetic code. If determining the biochemical nature of genetic code and structure of DNA was very exciting, it appeared to be very exciting to know the sequence, but how it was done, it was a very challenging task. In a very true sense, it required the involvement of scientists from several disciplines. Means during that time, many physicists, organic chemists, biochemists, and geneticists they worked together. And finally, students, it was George Gamow, a physicist, who argued that since there are only four bases, we know the four bases ATGC, and if they have to code for 20 amino acid, the code should constitute a combination of bases. Means finally we need to reach the level of the amino acids which are total 20 in nature, and we are starting with 4. So we need to take more than 3 at a time or more than one base at a time. He suggested that in order to code for all the 20 amino acids, the code should be made of 3 nucleotides. This was a very bold proposition because a permutation combination of 4 raised to power 3 would generate 64 codons, generating many more codons than required. We have 20 amino acid. Simple thing is 20 codes 20 amino acid. But now we need only 20, but we have more than 20. We have 64 codons. How it was generated? By taking 3 at a time, and 4 nitrogen bases are used. And who proposed this? It was George Camus. He proposed that taking 4 3 times, by taking 3 at a time, that is why 4 raised to power 3, 4 into 4 into 4 equal to 64. So 64 codons are possible, which will work for 20 amino acids. Providing proof that the codon was triplet was a more daunting task. Actually, how to finalize this was only a proposition. How to finalize that this code is triplet was a more difficult task. And how it came out? It was with the help of Dr. Hargobind Khurana. The chemical method developed by Hargobind Khurana was instrumental in synthesizing RNA molecule with defined combination of bases. He used the nitrogen bases and he was able to synthesize RNA molecules in the laboratory. He was not using living system, but he just synthesized chemically. So the name of Hargobind Khurana is very important here. It was Nirenberg, Marshall Nirenberg's cell-free system for protein synthesis finally helped to code to be deciphered. So it was Nirenberg, with the help of whom we were able to decipher the genetic nature of this code. Students, note, he made cell-free system. It means he was also working just synthetically. Here is a table. I give you brief hints regarding this. These are the 4 nitrogen bases, and it is very important, we are not using any T over here because these codes were on the messenger RNA. Taking here and taking here, and we multiply, we get 64 codons over here. In these boxes, the total codons are 64, and in each 3 letters are used. And now we will study various properties about these codons and how they work for various amino acids. Here the brief name of the amino acids are written. For example, pH is phenylalanine. This is leucine. This is again leucine. This is isoleucine. This is methionine, valine, serine, proline, threonine, alanine, tyrosine. These are the stop codons, I will tell you. Histidine. And like this, asparagine, lysine, serine, arginine, glycine, cysteine. Here are the salient features of genetic code, and we will understand them one by one. The codon is triplet. 61 codons code for amino acids and 3 codons do not code for any amino acids. Hence, they function as stop codons. Students, once again we observe this. We have 64 codons. Out of them, 61 will work. 3 do not code for any amino acid, and we call them stop codons. This, and this. These 3 are the stop codons. If it means in the chain, if we have these, the chain will stop. It won't code anymore. And other 61 are coding. And another point, codon is triplet. We can very clearly see we are taking 3 at a time. We have 4 nitrogen bases, but we are taking 3 at a time. The codon is triplet. Second point, one codon codes for only one amino acid. Hence, it is unambiguous and specific. One codon codes for one amino acid. Anywhere we can see it is coding for one. Students, this point will be clear that valine is for all these codons, and this point will be covered in the next point. This, in the second point, this point tells one codon codes for only one. At one time, one codon is for one amino acid. One codon for one amino acid at one time. Third point, some amino acids are coded by more than one codon. Hence, code is degenerate. This is another property of the genetic code, that the genetic code is degenerate. What does it mean? It means some amino acids are coded by more than one codon. This is very clear. Say valine, it is coded by these four. Say alanine, it is coded by these four. Say threonine, it is coded by these four. It means one amino acid is coded by more than one codon. And if we closely observe, say for threonine, the first and the second nitrogen bases are same, and there is a difference of the third base pair. If you observe here, the first and the second are same, and there is a difference of third. Whatever is the case, the focus on this point of degenerate is one amino acid, say alanine, is coded by more than one codon. It means if in the chain one particular codon, one particular nucleotide is absent, that will be wrong, that will be malfunctioning, but it will be covered with the help of another. It will be covered with the help of another. It will be covered with the help of any missing item will be covered with the help of another. The code is degenerate. It means we want alanine, we will have it either with this or with this or with this or with this, and alanine will be obtained. Same here. We want valine, we can get it with this GUU, we can get it via GUC, we can get it via GUA, we can get it via GUG. This means degenerate nature of the genetic code. The codon is read in messenger RNA in a continuous fashion. There are no punctuations. This point will be clear. Say, here is a rough sequence of the nucleotides. These are the three. It is triplet. They can code for one amino acid, another three for the second, likewise another three for the third, and so on. This code is commaless. It works continuously. We take first three, then we take immediately the next three, next three, next three, next three, and next three, and so on. The code is commaless. It is continuous. There are no punctuations, means it is continuous. Now the next point, the code is nearly universal, means it is applicable everywhere. For example, some bacteria, from bacteria to human, UUU would code for phenylalanine. See, UUU, it codes for phenylalanine. This is just an example that we may move from bacteria to human. If this is the information, it will bring phenylalanine. It will code for phenylalanine. Likewise, if this is the information, it will code for valine. In every organism, from bacteria to human, it means the code is universal. It is same in different individuals. There are some exceptions in the mitochondrial codons and in some protozoans. We know mitochondria has independent DNA, and there can be some exceptions. Another important property of the genetic code is AUG has dual function. There is a 3-letter codon AUG. This particular AUG has a dual function. As we have already studied about the stop codon, this is the start codon. It codes for methionine and it also acts as initiator codon. It is the start codon. It as well as it can bring it can code for the amino acid methionine. That is why mostly a question is asked, what is the dual function of AUG? I show you from this. This is AUG. It codes for methionine, but it is also the start codon. With this, the chain will start. And we have already studied there are stop codons. If this occurs in the chain, the codon will stop. We have 3 stop codons. This point we have already discussed. With this, we finish with the properties of the genetic code. Here is an example. If following is the sequence of nucleotides in messenger RNA, predict the sequence of amino acids coded by it with the help of the checker box. So we have this information over there, and the question is to trace the sequence of the amino acids. AUG is methionine. We have just done UUUUC. You can see these are phenylalanine UUUUC, and like this we can make, and we have already done AUG as methionine. Like this we can translate this sequence of polynucleotides, and it can be translated. We can just see their respective amino acid from the checker box. And here is the answer. Methionine, phenylalanine in the sequence. Now, here is a concept regarding mutations and genetic code, how they are closely related, and with this topic we will also reach the point regarding the triplet nature, regarding the proof of the triplet nature of the genetic code. Students, we have already studied in the previous chapter a very classic example of point mutation, that a change in the single base pair in the gene or the beta globin chain results in the change in the amino acid residue glutamate to valine. We remember glutamic acid is replaced by valine in the 6th position of the beta chain of the hemoglobin. This topic we have already done. And the result was disease like sickle cell anemia. It means a single base pair can affect so much. The effect of point mutation that inserts or deletes a base means just one base in the structural gene can be better understood by the following example. Here we will replace the base, and to explain this phenomena in a very simple manner and how it influences, here are some examples and very interesting examples. We are using simple English alphabets instead of the genetic code. Here, consider a statement that is made up of the following words, each having 3 letters like the genetic code. It is just a comparison. It is just something which will just indicate things like genetic code. It is not genetic code. These are simple English words, but we are using triplet like the genetic code. If we insert a letter B between has and red here, if we insert and rearrange the statement, it would read as, here B has been inserted. We have to take 3 at a time. Up till here it is same. Now we are taking 3 at a time. B was inserted. D shifts to the next, and this makes 3 and P is there. Similarly, now we insert 2 letters at a time, B, I, and this E shifts to the next. This makes 3 and E, D, C up till here, and A shifts to the next. Next, now we are inserting 3, B, I, G. When we insert B, I, G, I mean 3 letters in one go, in one time, the result is, this is same as the previous, this is same as the previous. There is a change over here. The same exercise can be repeated by deleting the letters R, E and D We can do it with different one by one and rearranging the statement to make a triplet word. The conclusion from the above exercise is very obvious. Insertion or deletion of one or two bases changes the reading frame from the point of insertion or deletion. Students, up till the point when we add 1 or 2, here we were adding 1, here we were adding 2. The base, the sequence has been shifted because it generates such type of codons. But if we add 3, this is same, only this part is inserted. It means inserting in 3 or in multiple of 3 will save some of the parental codon or the parental filament of this messenger RNA, the strand of messenger RNA. But if 1 and 2 are replaced, it will make the frame shift. So letter 3, combination of 3 is very important. I repeat, the conclusion from the above exercise is very obvious. Insertion or deletion of 1 or 2 bases changes the reading frame. Our frame was changed from the point of insertion or deletion at the point where it has been added. We could repeat the example by deletion. Insertion or deletion of 3, note it, 3 or its multiple bases. Insert or delete one or multiple codon, hence one or multiple amino acids. So there will be a change of the amino acids, means when we are using 3, if we delete one codon of 3, one amino acid will be deleted. If we add one codon, insert one codon of 3, we will get one more amino acid and the reading frame remains unaltered. Basically it remains unaltered, but there will be addition of one amino acid or deletion of one amino acid in the final frame from the point onwards where we have made the change, inserted or deleted. Such mutations are referred to as frame shift mutations, and we have already studied this in the previous chapter. This forms genetic basis of proof that codon is triplet and it is read in a continuous manner. It has to be read in a continuous manner, this we have studied, and it is triplet in nature. So this is the proof. If we